Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome to the homeschooling session. We are doing this after a while. We want to gauge how much interest is there in the community. So let us start with prayers. Before starting any activity, we recite prayers for auspiciousness. So we will recite our Mangalacharan prayers. And let me share the screen so everybody can see. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenbandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, welcome everyone. So should we just start with, I think our intention was to start with question Q&A. This is mainly a Q&A session geared for not very, very young children, like, who are just, in early elementary school, but it's more like STEM and spiritual devotional education, how to balance that, and anything you want to ask that we can help with in these areas where we have some experience with our homeschooling. But any and every question is fair. We will try to answer or think as best as we can. So yeah, please feel free to ask questions. You can raise hands and we can go one by one, or since there's nobody right now. Yes, Varsana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for doing this call. My son, I have two children, 5th and 2nd grade, and I was told recently, let me put my hand down. Like a friend found out that in order to get into good schools, we didn't think that far, but in order to get into good schools, typically it seems children take higher level courses in high school, and therefore when they are in middle school, they do other activities like getting into a music band or like volunteering and things like that. I was told, like sports and all of that. Has that been in your experience? Like, I guess my question in short is there something as a middle school? I mean, my son is not in middle school yet,
Sure.
But when he gets to it, is there something we have to keep in mind so that, we are kind of clearing his path when it comes to high school?
So I thought I was kind of understanding your question till halfway, and then I got a little confused. So let me ask a clarification question. You said doing advanced classes in high school. And then you said some extracurricular activities during middle school.
Yes, I was told that that's the way typically people do. Is that correct?
And also you said you wanted to tie this to college admissions. When you said school admissions, I assume you meant college admissions.
Yes, college admission.
Yeah. So Mataji, first of all, yes, I mean, of course, we have two kids who are in college right now. So we have that experience, and just for the sake of the audience's benefit and any future audience that might look at this, if we were to post it on YouTube, we have talked to many other parents and attended tens and tens of college information sessions and talked to admissions counselors in various colleges. So there is that sort of thing of information buildup that I have had, or we have had, because we were also not very sure homeschooling is this sort of adventurous path. So, and laden with uncertainty, but a lot of fun. So one thing I'll just speak some points that come to mind, and we can evolve or, go back and forth, iterate over it more. What I have heard, colleges ask for only what you have done in the last 4 years, not before. If you have done a whole bunch of things before that, they really don't want to know that. You can write it, but they will skip over it. And 99% of the colleges use the Common App, which is the application platform which you use to apply to colleges. And there is no place even in that. I mean, there are some free form fields like anything else you want to add, and you have like 500 words or 1,000 words to add, whatever you want to add. But regarding the fields like drop-down fields and filling in stuff in the thing, it just gives you last 4 years, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. If the child is applying early, let's say he's applying in 11th grade, like one of our kids applied in 12th grade, regular, and the other one applied when he was in 11th grade. So to say, both were homeschooled, so there was no official grade, but according to whatever their age and all, he applied 1 year early. So we filled up everything as to what he did in those 4 years, or 3.5 years, because you typically apply in November, December of the previous year when you want to go to join college in the next fall. So you have 3.5 years of records or your accomplishments to show. So whatever you have done in the middle school is good as providing as a baseline or as a infrastructure to support those next 3.5 years, on which you can really showcase what you have done. If there are some very exceptional things that one has accomplished in middle school, you can write about it in those sort of textual free form fields. They may read it, they may not read it. There's no guarantee. Does that?
Yeah.
Please ask.
Yeah, I think yes.
And we can discuss.
Sure. And another question that I guess I wanted to ask is, in your application process, how much? I mean, obviously, like homeschool life is very varied. Like our activities they span not just academics. We have other things. So, but I was told that for college admissions, they look at these other extracurriculars like music and
yes,
sports and all of that. Like, did you find that also?
Absolutely, yes, very much, but only the last 4 years.
Only the last 4 years. Okay.
If you have given it up and you have not done anything in the last 4 years about it, then it kind of loses its weightage, or it loses its influence, or yeah. So yes, I mean, if let's say somebody is very expert in music, it's not possible to become a really good expert in music in 2 years. So Typically, the child would start much earlier so that when he is in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grades, he can really do well, do an arangetram or some performances in concerts or bands or depending on wherever. But it takes a long time to get to that stage when you can really sort of have some level of public recognition or demonstrate some serious proficiency in it.
Okay.
So yeah, in that sense, what you have done in the middle school would be helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
And another thing is that most of the, so I don't know, I mean, it also depends on what colleges you are targeting. If, let's say, one is targeting the absolute top colleges, Ivy Leagues, and so on, and even some of the even Ivy, there are like 8 Ivy Leagues, and plus you can count maybe 2-3 more in that same category. So about top 10. But even if you look at top 50 colleges, then they really look for outstanding accomplishments in that respective area. And anything in that category or in that level requires multiple years of hard work or effort. There is nothing, I mean, there's no easy, there's no free lunch, so to say. Therefore, one advice would be to carefully select what you want to do and don't switch your complete sort of track in high school. If you have done something in middle school, continue that so that you can build upon it, build upon it, build upon it to the point where you can show some really good deep level of proficiency by the time you come to high school. Many parents come to me and ask, oh, Prabhuji, what can I do? And I ask, what grade is your child in? And they say, oh, he's in 11th grade. Then I kind of have to give a little bit of a watered down answer that, you can do these small things. But if somebody is in like elementary school, like you said, 5th grade or even 6th or 7th grade, there's so much that they can do because they have that long runway to prove themselves and show off as well. I mean, it is to some extent showing off in a good way, not by lying or cheating, but you need that long runway to do something serious. And try to do, my wife is kind of writing down some points here. I mean, why don't you can.
So instead of doing too many things at a very shallow level, try to pick up few things which your child is interested in and then go deep in that. That's a way better thing. So don't think that you have to write 10 extracurricular activities. If you just have 1 or 2 but really good in that, that's way better than 10 shallow level things. And that you can, as he said, start building it up from middle school onwards. So you can, so middle school time is a good exploration time where you can see what you actually like to do, you as in the student. So expose him or her to various things, and then whatever he or she chooses, then try to go
and
deep into that.
Yeah, and one of the sort of the corporate terms which I would like to use, though it may not sound very nice, is fail fast. Fail fast kind of means try out many things, but don't try them out for too long and then discover that, oh, this is not something I want to do. Try to be quick, again, in that same spirit, like my wife was saying. It's hard, sometimes people cannot find their vocation or calling in many years, but this college admissions thing is a game in that sense. But somehow try to figure out quickly without spending years in what you would like to become proficient in, because anything, whether it is mathematics or music or basketball, as varied as those 3 are, the common thing is it requires years to become very good at it. And some of these, not some, but all these top colleges, even the top 50 or top 100, are looking at you being really good at what you say you are at. Not that, oh, I have one college admission officer told me very directly Just saying I have been doing this for 5 years means nothing. We would like to see whether it is 5 years or 5 months. What have you accomplished? So if you're, playing basketball, let's say, are you the, did you win the state competition or something like that? Or I don't know, whatever. In mathematics, there are a whole bunch of competitions or tests or, research work. In music, have you performed at some, level? Not like, yeah, I have been learning music for 5 years. Anybody can say that, they say. So some demonstrated proficiency or expertise is very important as well.
Thank
And
you,
it takes a
Prabhu.
lot of time to develop. I request devotees to raise hands. Otherwise, I will keep going on, one, and then you're all welcome to listen. But if you don't raise hands, then I don't know when to stop.
I just want to add one more
Sure.
thing for Varsana Mataji. Unrelated to the question that you asked, but a general thing which came to my mind. Start noting down things which are, events or whatever experiences the child is having from middle school onwards, because when they come in high school, they have to write essays. That's way down the line, but it's good to know, okay, this is something
You will forget.
We'll forget. Even like last year things we forget. So
You are the mother and it's your child. It's not your neighbor's child. Still, I'm telling you, you will forget. We think, oh, we will never forget such a nice thing that happened or such a nice thing that our child did. You will forget. Maintain a very nice journal. And
even the failures, not just the accomplishments, but also, some challenges that they faced. And if they overcame those in a certain way, that's one of the very, very common questions. But, if it's something from their own life, it's so important to capture it, and then you can use it in the essays later. It'll be a genuine essay, not just, you have to now think of something just cooked up. So note down the events.
Yeah, keep a nice journal. Very nice journal. Okay, we will go next. Yeah, Microsoft Teams shows the number on the hand also, who raised their hand when. Zoom doesn't have that feature yet. So I don't remember who raised their hand.
Ulmi Mataji first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe it's sorting in that order.
Yeah, it's sorting in that order.
Nice. Okay. Go ahead.
So thank you so much for this session. I have a 7th grader and a 3rd grader, and it's a 7th grader that I'm trying to. He as you were saying, like too many, and then you have to kind of narrow down. That's what we are trying to do now, and like trim down some of the things that are not appealing. So my question was,
Are you homeschooling? Just curious, a little bit background about yourself, or?
So I am not homeschooling. My son is at Tamwat.
This Q&A session is meant for all parents. And
thank you.
Mataji, we met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, but I do. I have seen both of you at ISKCON and I think a few other places too. When say they are interested in computer science and math, but if they have been doing something really good with music, what weightage does that have for applying to a program which has nothing to do with music? Like, I'm just curious.
Oh, a lot.
Oh, okay. See, good to know.
So one of the things that colleges want to see is a good or a human being, not just a computer or a humanoid or a robot or a like a Star Wars terminology, a droid or something like that. And if the area is STEM, we think that, hey, all this other humanities, arts kind of things is not, what's the point? We can have that generic discussion. I believe it is important, but more than that, colleges absolutely see it that way as well, as a human being. And one or two, not more, but areas of a person, of a child, in anything that is non-academic or not something that you would build your career on. If you're good in math or whatever, some other thing, something other than that. If it is music that you're really trying to build your career on, then something else other than that, to show that you are a little bit of a multifaceted person and not a just one thing, and you don't know absolutely anything else. And they realize it's not possible to know 20 things either. So especially those kids who are into STEM areas, it's very important to develop some interest, and it doesn't have to be at that level. If you're, let's say you're very good in math or whatever, it's not like you have to be the same level, but you have to at least it can't be zero, or just like, okay, by the way, I took a class on that in my 9th grade first semester and that was about it. Not that either.
Okay. Yeah, because this is something very newfound for him, is he's very good at brass instruments. So math has always been like his academic thing, but suddenly we find that he's the lead for brass instruments and he can play like different types of things, and he's getting some recognition at the school level. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is and he really enjoys doing that besides math. So that's why my question was about this.
Yeah, and these are huge stress relievers as well.
That's what he says.
In fact, in our son's case, before some of their most intense exams the next day, at an international level, they would spend hours just playing music. So I, of course, didn't know. And when I would ask them, they would say, oh, I just this is what is relaxation for me. I was like, okay, wow. I wasn't as like them anyway.
Or any hobby, whatever they love to do. It's very, very good for their overall development. And definitely in times of stress, they can turn to that area of their life to get some peace, relief. So it's really important that everybody has at least one or two such things. So in colleges also, so not just for college admission, but really as a person, they need some outlet, which is from the arts side.
By the way, as I'm asking or having these conversations, you need to tell me if it's okay to, are you okay with this being in the public domain?
I'm absolutely fine. Yeah.
Varsana Mataji, how about you? The previous discussion, are you okay with that? Or?
Yes, Prabhu.
All right, thanks. Anything else, Polami Mataji?
No, this is one of the, and all this is all music to my ears. So I'm listening in.
Sure.
Thank you.
We'll go to next, Megha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Som is also here. Prabhuji, as you know, our child is very small still, but we are very much interested in at least raising her with Krishna consciously, as well as make her very good in her academics as well, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So Prabhuji, so I wanted to understand, do you have any recommendations on what those extracurricular activities could be to involve her? And especially I'm interested in knowing how can we, is there any way to include as part of those extracurricular activities, any spiritual activities or like spiritual education can be part of these extracurricular activities that that would help the child academically and in STEM education?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't hear a college angle to your question, so I'll skip that. many parents ask about, okay, how is this also going to help the college, or how would they see it? So I can add that also. I mean, that's important ultimately. No problems thinking in
Correct.
that way.
Yes,
But
Prabhuji.
for obviously, I mean, personal development, spiritual development is the best and the topmost. Everything else technically comes next. So for actual personal development, yes, children should be given spiritual education as the first priority. You know that probably very well already through all the discussions and classes that you attend. In terms of what are the benefits of spiritual education? One, the primary benefit is spiritual progress, so that they end up, because this is the age when they are like the clay, then later on they'll become like brittle pot, much harder to mold. So whatever we samskara, or the sort of the way we mold them, that will stay with them for a very long time. It is possible to change later. It is also possible to change in the other direction later. But we should, as parents, it's our primary duty to give spiritual education. So it's very important for the child's development, even in this life, and of course in future lives. How that helps? So was that your question as
She
to
was
how?
asking which extracurriculars can
No,
be done.
that
right?
was another
Yes.
question. But
Yes, Prabhuji. Your question also was there, and even Mataji's question also was my primary question.
okay, so other extracurricular activity other than academics, and when I say academics, I mean what is counted as academics today in schools. So spiritual education, unfortunately, is not one of the things that you can count. Now, by the way, many schools, many of these Christian schools, etc., put spiritual education as on their transcript. I saw the transcript of one student from Jesuit High School here in Portland. We live in Portland, and it's a Christian school. I'm sure this Jesuit school is probably in many cities. And there was the Bible class or something like that on the transcript. And in our homeschool transcript that we made, since our children would regularly attend our own Bhagavad Gita classes and Bhagavatam classes, and since a very young age, we followed Arudha Mataji's model of studying Bhagavatam seriously at home. Of course, that was all elementary and middle school, but we only counted the last 4 years, and they would engage in these studies at home. And we put it in the transcript as the religious studies, just like somebody from Jesuit High School would have it on their transcript. No problem with that. And so every 4 year, all the 4 year transcript that we produced had a 1 unit per year of religious studies. So that's on the religious study aspect. Now, expanding it a little bit more from there are a lot of extracurricular activities surrounding or related to religious study or your spiritual activity, like devotional singing, kirtan, or whatever. If you are good in that, then that becomes a spiritual activity. Like in our two sons' case, they were very much interested in kirtan and all. So we, they weren't like they didn't do any big stage performance or something, but they were part of the temple youth group. And we mentioned that. So that is another thing. Again, you have to see to what level of accomplishment, etc., they want to go. You can do many other things, like in the temple you can do a lot of other kind of seva, cleaning the temple, or lot of services. Those are definitely counted as extracurricular activities. One of the things our kids did that, but now coming to the college admissions angle of it, now I know it's very far for you, but may not be that far for some other people. Try to develop or build a relationship with a senior, an adult who is a mentor in that area. ultimately what will happen is you might want to get a recommendation letter from them. So, do the services under the guidance of somebody, some adult who is a responsible party in that organization, so that you can also approach for a recommendation letter later. But colleges only want 2 or 3 maximum recommendation letters, out of which 2 have to be academic. So extracurricular ultimately will end up being 1 more. And if you're doing 3 extracurricular things, you might never need, all 3 to write a letter. Only 1 would be needed. There are other things like, prashadam distribution, book distribution. The kids can do that. Again, I'm just saying at the devotional or the spiritual level, whatever surrounds that. Now, if you expand even more than that, then extracurricular activities become so many, sports, music, some kind of volunteer activities like, some Red Cross or Boy Scouts, or I don't know I don't know much about these things either. So if there are very materialistic angle to it, I would not put my kids into it. But I'm just saying this, then it kind of goes into a big domain of possibilities. Yeah, go ahead.
So there are like some other things also which are totally devotional. So not only just kirtan, which is music, but arts like drawing something. There are people who are, you have seen in our temple, there are paintings made by devotees which are hung in the main hall. I mean, those are adults who have done that. But basically, if you have to see what your child is interested in. If they're interested in arts, please encourage them to do devotional drawings and paintings. So that could be one. Then dramas, dance, do like Shivani does such nice Bharatnatyam. And, say you do the full piece on Lord Krishna's pastime. So that's a devotional service. And it is, fulfillment of an extracurricular activity. It's so fulfilling for the child if they do that. And within drama, like drama will need an adult. And I used to do that a lot. Like I organized many dramas when my kids were small. And but not every child wants to be the person who is acting. There are so many things. The kids can help the drama crew with the script writing or doing the background music or whatever. So there are so many other options as well where extracurricular activities or those things can be devotional.
In the elementary and middle school ages, try to develop these things so that in the high school age you can really do some big bang activity, like maybe direct a whole drama, get a group of kids together, or do something and play the lead role in something big. So these things in the beginning could be the sort of the building the muscle kind of thing, with the aim that, yes, this is what I really want to spend a lot of my time later. Not majority of my time, but a good amount of time. If your focus is, let's say, academics, never lose sight of that. But this could become within the extracurricular activity, it could become a big piece. And like we said earlier, don't try to do 15 extracurricular activities, maximum 2, if not only 1, but be really, really good in one. Jack of all, master of none is not very useful.
And one more example just came to my mind. My niece, she lives in another state, and she just wrote a full drama script for a very long drama, Vedagda Madhava. So not a small one, but if the child likes writing, they can really do some nice devotional writings. Earlier, our kids, our temple group, they used to publish a newsletter of all the things that have happened in the last quarter, and children used to write the articles. So if they have those kind of inclinations, the adults can guide them and let them explore those things. So writing could also be a very good avenue where children can express themselves.
Very, very, very nicely said, Mataji and Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I have a follow-up question. Can I, Mataji?
Sure. I don't think there are many hands raised. We have Sarvashakti Mataji next, but yeah, we have time. Go ahead.
So Prabhuji, so for devotional education, are there any certificates that can be provided to these kids? I mean, like uh, I've seen that such courses have been developed for languages, like Indian languages. In the US, can there be any attempts made, Prabhuji, like to say, like, okay, the child has studied Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, and any that I just got this idea when you were talking, Prabhuji, now, and I just wanted to throw the idea
It is
out
a
there.
nice thing. I mean, we offer Bhakti Shastri. Now, it may be too much for a young child to do, but a teenager could do it.
Mhm.
So that is something to consider. And then you can, in your college, apply, not for the sake of bragging. I mean, Bhakti Shastri gives a very, very deep and good level of understanding of Bhagavad Gita mainly, and 3 other smaller books. But you can write that this is a course that ISKCON, which is a worldwide society, or official certificate that is provided, and 99% it is earned by adults, and hardly 1% is by like children. And the child could write, I'm one of those very few people who got this, but it requires some very serious commitment, very serious commitment. So anything, like I said, just saying I for the last 5 years I'm learning to play harmonium isn't enough. So again, in the said, I've been attending classes for the last 5 years isn't. But if you do something like this, like get a certificate so that's what we are offering here. Personally, I teach Bhakti Shastri. My wife helps me in the coordination of it. We could develop more things like maybe a diploma in Bhagavad Gita or something like that. I know that some temples do it at a local level. I don't know, but Bhakti Shastri would be a very nice thing, but it does require very serious commitment. Not like you have to kill yourself, or it doesn't require like 40 hours a week. It requires maybe like 5 to 6 hours a week.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji and Mataji.
And we need then devotees to kind of come up with it requires, for my side, I can tell you from our side, it requires a serious amount of work to run that. It's not easy by any stretch. So we need some devotees to step up and offer these things. It wouldn't happen by magic or by chance. Like someone would say, this universe appeared by chance. So universe may have appeared by chance according to some people's imagination, but these diploma or courses definitely will not appear by chance. Somebody has to put in the effort.
Absolutely, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Sarva Shakti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
My question, I have actually 2 questions, Prabhuji. One of the question is like a follow-up question from what Varsana Mataji has asked about the extracurricular activities like sports or music. So I wanted to know is is it important to choose any like particular kind of sport where like kids play in a team, like team sports, or that college give importance to see how kids get along with other people, or any sport would be okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, very, very nice question, actually. So team sports does help a little bit, because then you can also write about team dynamics and how it's not about just the writing of it, but you can learn about, there'll be, in a team, there will be disagreements, there will be, problems, and how you kind of step up and be the glue to bring people together and keep things going. And those could be great personal sort of accomplishments and stories. I mean, nobody would give you a certificate for that, but those are the kind of things you can write in essays and all. And they're just super helpful in personal development versus individual sports where you don't work in a team. Yeah. So those are, but individual sports are also, I mean, for those who are basically spending a lot of time in academics, it's more important to pursue what you enjoy and what you like, rather than trying to pick something which is going to give you a 5 or 10% edge, but you don't have a taste or a, attraction to that. So prioritize something which you can give yourself fully into. And if that happens to be a team sport, great. And in the team sport, in that case, try to be the sort of the role model or the leader, or the one that is not always the loudest person, maybe the lowest profile person, but the one who keeps things together.
Okay.
And however, you have to also balance that team sports, comes with a lot of price that you have to pay in terms of in practice sessions and all that. You have to coordinate according to the time of everybody else, and all that stuff. And typically if it's a team of people, you cannot just sit at home and do it, or this amount of space, equipment. So you have to balance all that. There can be multiple kinds of team sports, but so those are the things you have to see. In the many people I have seen, they just think, oh, extracurriculars, and then academics get forgotten in that pursuit. So academics should not suffer, and beyond that, whatever you enjoy, and you have to make certain choices. Does that?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And I have one more question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, you mentioned about, like when we do extracurricular activities or sports, we have to prove, like what we have accomplished, rather than just saying, like I've spent so much time on it. So does it apply even to like academics, like is it important? How much importance do colleges give for like academic competitions or like certificates, like for math or science, or just good grades in school, or the, would be adequate, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So it all, Mataji, even in the extracurriculars as well, it all depends on the applicant pool. Okay. And which in turn kind of is related or has a strong correlation to the sort of the how high the college is considered in the ranking by the student body who is applying that year. So if you're applying to, I don't know, the top Ivy League, it becomes extremely important to show very strong proficiency, because in those kind of colleges, everybody who is applying gets on the transcript, it's straight A's. So that's not a differentiator. Then the differentiator becomes, what else have you done in the academic area, like you're asking, outside of the transcript, which is all A's. And within that, they have to select 1 out of 4 people among the straight A's people. So how do they select 1 out of 4, 25%, let's say, among those that are getting full A's and maybe very high SAT score, whatever it is, 1600 or 1550 plus? Then these competitions and doing well in those and all matter. But then as you start sort of going down the list, just having a very, very good transcript may be more than enough to guarantee admission into a college. And if you have even some competition or some other experience or proficiency, it would be fine. I'm hesitating to take names of colleges and sound a little more sort of exclusive in that sense, but in some areas where I have experience with my children's education, I can give you tons and tons of examples with college names, with scores. If this score you get, you can almost guarantee admission into this college, and this is what you need to do to get into. Or colleges would extremely like a student with this, for this competition with this kind of score. I have a lot of sort of data in my head to share, which is not useful mainly in the STEM area, but that depends on what colleges you are targeting as well. So that's a generic answer. If you want to think about it, the way to think about it as a student or a parent would be try to do the best you can, the absolute best you can. And then when the time comes, let's say once you're in 11th grade or early 12th, first semester of 12th grade, then you see, put everything on the table, that you have all the feathers, and see which kind of colleges this would be very attractive to. And for some of the absolute topmost colleges, this may be an average profile. For the next, maybe for the A++ category college, let me just call it that way, it may be a very average profile, but for an A-level college, it may be a very attractive profile. So you apply to the A++, that's called like a moonshot. Don't not apply, maybe you get in. But also apply to the A category or A- category if that's how you think your profile shows up. And at the end of it, you're guaranteed to get into multiple colleges, and then you can choose where to go among those who have accepted you. So that would be in younger age, like your daughter is in 5th grade, right? There's a long runway. Do the best you can, and then see where you land up and apply there. There is nothing like, oh, every single college in the United States absolutely requires only this high level of credentials. No, there's place for everyone.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice seeing you after so long. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nice to hear your voice. Waiting for you to come back.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
All right. Meenal Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, one question is around languages. Sorry?
Could you introduce yourself a little bit? I don't think.
So no, I have not met you before on the call. Yes, I'm from Seattle, Prabhuji. We are a member of Seattle congregation.
Okay.
ISKCON Seattle.
Okay, very nice to know.
Yeah. I am in the group for a long time.
Are you just a little bit about your what's
Yeah, sure. Just 1 second. Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have two daughters, 13-year-old and 8-year-old. So of course, I'm thinking more from the 13-year-old perspective, but for both again.
By the way, hold on.
Yeah.
Sarva Shakti Mataji and Megha Mataji, are you good with whatever we have discussed to post in public domain?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Megha Mataji, are you good with that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. And Meenal Mataji, please let me know as well after our discussion.
Yeah, sure. So my question, is that enough, Prabhuji? So the 13-year-old is in the 8th grade.
Sure.
She's in the 8th grade. And and the younger one is in the 3rd grade. So my question was around language, that she hasn't really taken any language in a school. Maybe at one point we did have an option for Spanish.
Like, foreign language or?
Foreign language, yes,
Okay.
foreign language. So she hasn't taken any language because we ended up taking maybe computer science, or I don't remember what were the options. But she is learning Sanskrit, and our mother tongue is Marathi. So she knows a little bit Hindi. So I'm a little confused on which language should we focus on from the college perspective. Do you think it should be some foreign language like Spanish and French, or versus mother tongue or Sanskrit? Does that make a difference?
Good.
And also another question follow-up question is, does it make a difference if you take those languages as a part of your school curriculum versus you just learn it on your own and then you just give that exam? I think nowadays it's compulsory for everyone, I guess, to give that exam to show as a proof that you have experted or whatever that level for that language. So does it make a difference is what I'm trying to understand.
So now you said your children are going to regular school, correct?
Yes, regular school, public school.
Public school, and they will do that in high school as well.
Not sure. I mean, but yeah, most probably yes.
Let's say they do.
Yeah, let's say
I'll
they
give you
do.
both
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not advised to switch between homeschooling and outside schooling, whether it is public or private, in the middle of high school. Best
Okay.
to decide before high school, and even like 9th grade is too late, in my opinion, personally, to start homeschooling.
Okay.
So I don't know what kind of adjustment problems children will face transitioning from outside school to homeschool suddenly. So anyway, and definitely it's not advisable to do it in the middle of high school, like end of 9th grade or 10th grade and all that.
Okay.
So the high school, if let's say you're going to outside high school, they will give a transcript. I mean, you're attending, let's say, the high school full time. And most high schools, I think, in my opinion, as far as I understand, require the child to take a foreign language. You cannot pass high school. I don't know about Washington State, where you live, but in Oregon, you have to take at least 1 or 2 years of foreign language as part of the high school rules. And they will only have certain offerings. They will not, here in America, will have Marathi or Sanskrit at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to take one of the things they offer, whether it is Spanish or French or whatever else it is. So if that is the route you are taking, you have very little option anyway. From the college admission standpoint, they also require many colleges in there. You can go to the website of each college and they will say what are the minimum requirements to apply. And they will say things like 4 years of English, 4 years of high school, I'm saying, not before, 4 years of high school. You should have done 4 years of English, which means every year you should have English in your transcript. Every year you should have math in your transcript, 1 year of physics, 1 year of chemistry, 1 year of biology, and 1 year or like 1 unit, or different colleges put it different way. Some require 2 units of a foreign language. So they also require that. I don't remember any college which says we don't require a foreign language. But if you are going to an outside school, you anyway have it. For homeschoolers like us, we could have avoided foreign language because it was our homeschool. We are the teacher, we are the principal, we are the boss of our homeschool. We can teach theoretically whatever we want. But I knew that colleges require this. So to our kids, we taught Hindi as our foreign language because they were already very proficient in Hindi. That's what we speak in home generally. And it was very easy. And they took a test which was made outside. And we preserved all the coursework they did. I got books from India on Hindi. My wife's sister's children did some, they live in Delhi, so they did Hindi, whatever, not at their high school level. In Delhi high school, Hindi is way more complicated, but their middle school or elementary school Hindi is what we did in our high school, the same workbooks and all, because I found out also that in Spanish, for example, the children who are learning Spanish as a foreign language, let's say in a Spanish country, whether it is Spain or whether it is Mexico or whatever, what would that come as in a category? That was like almost elementary school. Like in high school Spanish, they are learning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like whatever you call it. In Hindi, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And days of the year, Mangalwar, Somvar, Mangalwar, Budhwar. So this is something that elementary school children would learn in their local language in Spain, let us say. So those kind of things, I did that rough mapping, and we got all the textbooks, workbooks. That's what our kids did. I maintained very detailed journal of everything that they did, all the homework and everything. Just in case if they ask, we could produce. They never asked and we didn't have to produce, but I had it with me if the need came. And then they took an external test. And we were not sure whether colleges will accept it or not. There is no AP. I'm sure you're familiar with AP tests in the US that are done by College Board. There is no AP in Hindi. You have APs in Spanish and French and whatnot, German, but there's no AP Hindi. What to do? So you come up with your own test and you say that, okay, they have passed this test. If the colleges wanted more information, we would have been happy to provide. And we took a chance. Now, in our case, our kids had other accomplishments and other things. So probably, this wasn't the deal breaker or the thing for the college to say, oh, how much foreign language he really knows. Let's really try to find out. So, but that's what we did. But I don't think you can mix and match. If you're going to have a school transcript, and if you want to do Marathi or Sanskrit at home, I don't know how you can mix and match and show it as what college needs is like an official 1 year of foreign language or 2 year of foreign language. How do you show that here is my college transcript or my high school transcript? It has, I don't know, Spanish, and you got an A or a B or a C grade in that. I don't know. But here is Marathi or Sanskrit, which we did at home. Can you consider replace the Spanish there with this Marathi?
That will be extracurricular at best.
I don't know if it would work.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji.
If the safest route is to do what your school is offering and do it well.
Yeah, okay.
That's one of the disadvantages of outside schooling.
Yeah, we don't have control over where we can spend our time on. Yeah,
correct. Or sort of optimize it, because in Hindi we are speaking already Hindi, and it was much easier for them compared to if they had to learn, like some of their friends who were also North Indian. They would tell my kids, oh, you are so lucky, you are having Hindi as foreign language. I am having to learn Spanish. And they would say that you are so lucky. Well, one of the benefits of homeschooling.
Yeah, that makes sense, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Did you have another question you said, or what? Or was
I do have I don't know if it will take a long time. Maybe I can, you can answer it some other time, but wanted to ask if the homeschooling you did is probably like a full from the scratch, right? Like how Aruda Mataji did, but maybe not from K-12 or things like that. So that is really not the homeschooling, right? I mean, K-12 is not really considered as homeschooling, correct? It's just online.
It is outside schooling in your home room.
Yeah, okay.
The physical location is your home, but they control the content and the speed.
Yeah, okay. But do you, do you recommend that we, as a devotee kids, will they benefit from the program like K-12 as well as an alternative to the homeschooling that you did from scratch? Obviously, I cannot do that because I'm working full time, as well as I have never done that before with them. But if she is interested in doing it, will she benefit from that program as well? Have maybe some of the advantages of homeschooling?
Maybe your younger child would. I don't know. I don't want to give you wrong advice, or you really should evaluate for your older child how viable that option will be. But also for your younger one, or in general, for when you have time to try out and back out of it. If you, let's say for your older child, if you do it in 9th grade and you don't like it, then basically it's ending up being that switch in the middle of high school, which I said is not good. So, but if there is more time, you can definitely try it. It depends on what are your priorities of homeschooling, why you want to do the homeschooling. And yes, many parents are not confident about, doing it in the Arudha Mataji style, or like we did, like zero outside sort of dependence. We were in full control of the content and the speed. If one is not in that, then K-12 can be an option. Now, I have heard good and bad things specifically about K-12, but there are a couple of other options like that. But in any case, you have to see why you want to do homeschooling. One of the things I have heard about K-12 is you can finish it off much faster. You don't have to, there may be some classes you have to sit through, but I think you can watch canned videos or pre-recorded videos much faster, do your homework much faster. That leaves you a lot of time to do other things, whether they are extra things in extracurricular activities, like going deeper into math or science, or doing science projects, research work, or contest preparation, or music, or sing, arts, whatever may be your vocation or your calling. Devotional, reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, serving in the temple, all these things need time. And so that could be a very positive benefit of the homeschooling. And of course, as the schooling becomes higher and higher grades, there is a lot of negative influence also in the school. So, you may want to consider, some parents consider that as an advantage of homeschooling, but also there is the social aspect that you have to give up on. So that's the disadvantage. So you have to find the right balance. I feel that if one is choosing to do the outside schooling, give very strong devotional and spiritual education at home, so that even when they are going out into that outside sort of community or world, they know what is, they can differentiate between right and wrong, and don't have to be peer pressured into doing things that they would regret doing later. So it's a, each has its pros and cons.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Maybe in the near future, I may come back with some more questions if I have to choose something. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this session has been more vibrant. We didn't have a session for many months because there wasn't much, I didn't sense much interest, but I thought we can try it again. So if there is interest, we can keep doing such sessions. By the way, are you good with the content, what we discussed, and for public domain?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. Thanks. Yes, Kalindi Sundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept our humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji and Prabhuji both. Prabhuji, I am doing the following the Arudha Mataji curriculum, and I'm doing homeschool. He's going to be 6 and he's 9. So I'm following the Calvert curriculum, and he do the study everything in home, and then his father ordered the exam. He give in the online, then we send to the government, and they look how is the result, and then they give permission for the next grade.
Right.
I'm doing all this, and just now they came from India. They stay in Mayapur, Govardhan, because Kartik time,
Yeah.
So, but I start with as I am not anything great devotee or anything. I just following the devotee and see that they is. I read the Arudha Mataji book. It's give me a test, and it's like a nice way to take care of kids, and also actually make you more responsible when do homeschool. But they follow whatever I'm saying, and they're doing it. We do also Bhagavatam morning. But sometimes little worried to come to me that and are they going in the, like what people outside expect, like very sweet or very nice. But is it satisfaction, but kind of little worried, Prabhuji. Like some people, some devotee tell, send him to Cuman, like Cuman to check his.
Kumon, Kumon.
Yeah, Cuman, yeah. To check his, thing. So I will later, maybe I do. So let's see how it is speed. But it's little bit make me worried that is okay, what's going on, like, or I have to do more than that. Like I do Bhagavatam, then he do his curriculum study, and then he do the music in home through the Zoom with devotee, different thing, learning everything in home. And now it's winter, therefore he's in more in home. Outside, going so much, unless in temple we're going, but not so much outside activity we have now.
So, your question is it good?
Is it going in the right direction, or I have to do more thing? I have to put more ingredients in my home school.
Looks like you're doing Calvert, which is providing all the sort of quote unquote material education content is there in that. And you're doing wonderfully, as you are saying, all the spiritual education according to Arudha Mataji's guidance and program of Bhagavatam and morning program. I'm suppose you are doing. Morning program is a very, very strong component of Arudha Mataji's model, which we followed strictly. And we also can say that it is it's the backbone of devotional growth of the children. So everybody doesn't have to be a double, triple PhD and be a what you call superstar, or do all these mega things. To a certain extent, that kind of begins to fall in the mode of passion. So if the child is genuinely interested in that, out of the interest, let them do. And the rewards and other things can be just a byproduct, can be the secondary outcome. So out of their interest, if they want to do, let them do. But I personally feel it's no need to kill yourself and do more. Doing homeschooling gives you a lot of ample time to do other things. A lot of time is saved compared to covering the same amount in outside school. So I think you're doing, from what you are saying, I think you're doing great. Don't be in this mode of I'm missing out, I'm losing. If genuinely you feel that you can add something more, go ahead and add. And then we can, if you want suggestions or ideas or things, we can talk about that. But don't add it just because you feel I need to add something, otherwise I'm not good enough, or the homeschooling is not going good enough, or otherwise that will, I think, always be there. You will always feel insufficient.
So one Mataji told me that Calvert
quality is more important than quantity.
And Prabhuji, another thing, one Mataji told, and one devotee told that Calvert curriculum is like simple. But I don't know, I'm just following that. Am I have to order other curriculum?
I cannot advise, Mataji. I have not seen Calvert curriculum. Where do you live?
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. It's a big city, right? It's not like you are in a rural area. So I would suggest that you go and look at curriculum from some of these public schools. I'm sure will let you into their library, or you can go to public library and see many of these have the textbooks that are used in the regular schools outside.
No, thing is that what he doing study, a curriculum, but when he give exam, his question is much easier than what he's doing in the Calvert curriculum. I saw that.
Okay, so then that means Calvert curriculum is of a higher standard than the exam.
Yeah.
But your question was, is Calvert curriculum too simple? Wasn't that your question?
Yeah, some like some devotee tell like this, but I don't know. I don't want to push
If
so
you
much.
want to, so if that doubt is there in your mind and it is about your kids' education, which is at stake, you don't want to close your eyes to that feedback. If I were you, I would go and dispel that doubt. And the way to dispel that doubt is to go and see what are they teaching in the public school or outside school. Get some sample, same level, same grade level textbook that they are teaching over there. Compare it to your Calvert, and you should get an idea of, is that more advanced, or is your Calvert more advanced, or are they both similar? Get that answer. I mean, don't just if you have that serious doubt, if
No,
it's
not
bothering
serious.
you, if it's
No.
bothering you, go get a resolution.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not like bothering someone, but little bit I'm thinking because
Sure.
also they're telling their boys, no, so their life is more tough than women because women is kind of depend on husband, but
Sure.
men we do it themselves.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I mean even Srila Prabhupada said, you should learn material education. You should be able to stand up on your own feet, and you have to earn a living. You don't have to be as I said, triple PhD, but you need to know enough material education to have a good living and a source of livelihood, a good, decent career. So yes, it is important to have good education. If you have that doubt,
I think it will be in your city. Is anybody else doing homeschooling, Mataji, and using K-12 curriculum?
K-12 is very
Because-
similar to
Yeah.
what public schools use. So if you can also compare your thing to K-12, it will
Yeah.
give you an idea.
what is the spelling, Prabhuji? K-12?
K-12.com.
K for Krishna
Yeah. K for
and hyphen 12.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. K-12. Okay. K-12.
They are
Yes.
very popular for providing these curriculums at your home. Are you paying for the Calvert curriculum, or is it
Yes,
free?
yes. We're paying. His curriculum is 350 for standard course and 350.
K-12 is free, I have heard, but I think their quality also maybe, there's no free lunch. So if you are paying, you can assume it is better.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, we pay. Yeah, we're paying. His expensive 350. I have to pay for his curriculum, standard fee, and standard one is something 200 something. It will. So I paying for them, and my Prabhu paying for them, and that's okay, Prabhu. Little bit standard to Krishna. I just want that they go right path, but Krishna's mercy is okay. So I not worry or tension. I have faith because I saw devotees they're doing and they going right, and I'm following their footsteps. I'm not myself create.
Very nice, very nice. And also you can get some books from the library. I'm sure there's a local library and same grade level books. Like if your child is in, let's say, 4th grade, I don't know, you can get the 4th grade level math book. It should be available in the library. And you can ask him to do the problems from there. And if he's able to do, then it means you're fine.
Okay.
You can do various ways. In various ways, you can see what is the level.
Okay, Prabhu. And the thing is that about the language, I always try to speak every day with them Bengali and Hindi. This I know. Bengali is my mother tongue, and Hindi also I know. But they understand. But they're going to reply me in English. They're not going to until I push them more. Until I don't.
Them.
My thing is that my Prabhu is Russian. So I speak with him English. He speak with me English. So when his father is in home, it's very difficult to conversations because But if his father not in home, then I keep doing what my language. So that is the thing. They understand, but they're going to reply. I don't know when they're going to speak. That's what I'm waiting.
Yeah. So you have to little bit force them.
Yeah. It will be good for them with
It
that
will be
spirit.
good for them.
They'll thank you later for doing that. There are many kids, parents did not push, now they can't speak, and then it becomes too late.
I can say very openly, I was a very strict father. So, and with, I can see you have boys. With girls, I don't know. I don't have girls, so I don't know how much to be strict with the girls. But with boys, no problem. You can be little strict, huh, boys? Okay.
Yeah. They are like a mummy boy, whatever mummy do. I'm here, they're sitting here. I go, then only they go bed now. They're already late.
You can be a little strict with them and push them with nicely, sometimes strict, sometimes carrot and stick approach. But yeah, Mataji, you that is very important to for anything, even to do our sadhana, we have to push ourselves. So in the same way, yeah, some amount of discipline, sometimes being strict, may be needed. But yeah, you must, and this, like we said in the previous conversation, it will also help, because then this will become your foreign language, Bengali or Hindi. You can be a triple language. You can be proficient in 3 instead of 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that some amount of strictness is good.
Yeah, I also used to, I tell them it's not like I holding them with me, but if I told them, if you don't like with me study, you can go to school, you can try it. I tell them like this, you can try. But for some reason they don't want, they like here. They like with me, stick with me. Yesterday, this boy cried 1 hour. I just told, because I will send you to school if you don't hear me. Just crying 1 hour. Nobody can stop him. He stopped himself. So that is the good thing, but I want to use it so
Yes,
that
we use that also. And yeah, but anyway, you can try some techniques also. Like you can say that, write a short passage, or you can give them some questions and you can say that, I don't know if they know the writing part, but, or you can do some official sort of time that, okay, this half an hour I will sit with you and I will ask you all these questions. You have to answer in Bengali or Hindi, whichever your language. Like, let's say you read Bhagavatam, or you read any other story, and you ask them questions in the local language, in your mother tongue, Hindi or Bengali, and you tell them that just answer the questions based on the story, but in Hindi. That way they are not just forced to speak the normal things. I'm hungry, or I want to play. That is natural. Let's say it comes in English. But as part of your study, you can include Hindi or Bengali. Try that. And rest of the time, English, no problem.
Yeah, and also because English is my second language, and I did my degree in India. I didn't do anything here. But I taking, like Bhagavatam, all Prabhupada's high standard English is there. And therefore I'm thinking sometime maybe I send him to Cumin to see how good he is. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's okay. We also sent our kids not to Kumon, but to some other outside classes, like community college or something like that in high school, to learn things which I could not teach them. So
Yeah.
that's fine. I think that's okay. That's perfectly okay to send for 1 hour or sometime in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will go with him half an hour. He said, I want to just see that, check it.
Yes. I don't think there's any problem in that.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay. Meenal Mataji, your hand is still up. I'm assuming it's from before.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. By the way, thank you so much for the guidance on the language part that you just explained a few seconds back. That is very helpful. About asking the questions specific targeted, maybe, because I struggle in that area too, to get my kids speak our mother tongue. So yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
And Kalindi Mataji, okay to, you're okay with posting this in public?
You're muted, Mataji.
You are
Please.
mute.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, if
Okay,
it's so. Yeah.
fine.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, there are no other questions on the chat. And it's 7:25. So we've been here for almost 1 hour, 20 minutes. So we will end it now. Any feedback? How did you like it? For those that were listening, was this useful? Should we do something like this again? Probably in 2 months, or I don't know. Would anybody like to? Okay, yeah, some devotees are replying on the chat.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It was useful, Prabhuji. Like, yeah, like, no, I may not be able to implement all the things what you're talking, but it's really, remind ourselves and then get information. I think it is useful, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes, Mataji. I know your kids are older, so yeah, totally understand. And somebody's asking on the anything else? Okay. That did I use K-12 for my kids? No, we did not. Never. But I have heard mixed things about it. Mostly good things. But we did not use it because we wanted to be completely independent. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for joining and participating so interactively. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna
much,
Mataji.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.